Charles. Row, row, row. All right, it looks like it is now install day. So we're gonna install these tires later. The spacers for the wheels should be in today also. But we got the H&R lowering springs. These are the springs just for the front. It also comes with lowering links to the rear. So since I have air suspension in the back, I don't get lowering springs since there's airbags. I get lowering links. So these are 65 mil, or I'll adjust it to 65 mil, identical to the front. So there's a small rake. And then the front lower control arm is bad on the driver's side, but I got two. I got driver and passenger so that they match. I just bought a pair of Moogs of a Rock Auto. So we'll install that and this at the same time, lower the car, put some spacers on. Then I'll bring these to the shop, get these mounted and aligned, and the car will look 2 inches lower. So we'll see how it goes. All right, buddy, I'm working on the car. I'll be back, okay? No, this one's like really odd. Like, let's just run to the car. I'll show you guys, so I don't BS you guys and, like, you know, try to sugarcoat that everything is great and I got a great deal and all that stuff. But yeah, we got some oil seepage here, some back there. BMWs are notorious for oil pan gasket leaks and also valve cover gasket leaks and oil filter housing. Basically a good maintained BMW, they'll have the dealership, you know, do all the routine maintenance and get it all up to spec and get these stuff you know, taken care of. I mean, Hondas too, they're notorious for valve cover gasket leaks, especially if you have VTEC, the VTEC solenoid, all that stuff. So honestly, just part of car ownership. It's always good to know how to do it yourself to save all the cost and labor, but sometimes it pays to have someone do it that's done it so many times. Like, if you're not used to doing this at all, and on BMWs I am not, but on BMWs I know there's more stuff you have to move out of the way to make this job much easier. So if you've done this all the time, you know exactly what to do and have all the correct tools, you can knock it out in a few hours. But when you have no experience and you're just kind of referencing it offline, you know, from the do-it-yourself tutorials and everything, it may be a day or two project just to do it. But yeah, for the oil pan gasket, most likely I have my buddy do it because it looks like a mess just to get to it. As of right now, it's not leaking horribly, it's not dripping on the ground or anything, so something I don't have to do at this moment, but eventually I have to do. But as of right now, I need to make this car as drivable as possible, that's comfortable for me, that I feel happy enough to keep this car. So right now, that's the suspension. So the old one off and put the new one on, put on the lowering springs, and yeah. Honestly, this is not that hard of a job to do as long as you have the tools. So right now I'm gonna just spray all the bolts with PB Blast so it'll be easier to take off. Just let it soak a little bit. Probably should have done this last night, but it was storming like crazy. We had a tornado warning, so yeah, it was not fun. The dog was freaking out. Now we're removing the shocks. Just undid these, cracked them loose. So now we're gonna loosen this up. This is the pinch assembly. This will drop down afterwards, so we'll see. Oh fuck, dude. There we go. Look at that baby. We're taking the other Beamer. You get a new bump stop. The old one is crap. So we're gonna go to classic BMW now in Plano. Luckily, it's only a 15-minute drive. Cool. I don't think he did for the bottom piece. My buddy just realized the bottom.
Looks like it was rear suspension.
Oh, front.
Front suspension.
And off the top had this bushing that goes on top and run right underneath. So this is gonna be probably like $90 after tax. Alright, here are the old ones and the new ones. So I measured it out to be 65 mil, which is 2.55, something along those lines. Yeah, so we're just gonna toss them back in those holes and then throw on the 20 mil spacers. Have it flush. All right, last wheel, last spacer, 20 mil, it's going on.
Alrighty, the car is done, and man, it looks great. We got the new tires put on, got the alignment done, and they let us do it with the spacers on. But man, this car is completely different. Before, when I turned right, when I turned left, it was extremely heavy steering. Like, I honestly did not enjoy driving this car, and I thought if this is how this car drove, then I probably was gonna get rid of it. And after changing out the control arms, after adding the spacers, adding the new tires, alignment, lowering it, wow, like this car is completely different. It's so much more aggressive. It honestly feels like driving an oversized sedan, which I love. However, the downside is it's very aggressive, like I said, so you feel every bump, every dip. But honestly, I'm okay with it because I've driven lowered cars majority of my life. So it is what it is. And make sure you subscribe because I picked up a fun little project, so definitely got to check it out. But other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.